Terrain Terminal, or the Oxnard wasteland as we used to know, is a witness of the history of Oxnard, California, a victim at the forefront of environmental change and intrinsically an ever-evolving part of the urban landscape. The Oxnard wasteland is a structure built in the past to accommodate the demand for sustainability. It was elevated above the ground on pilotis in anticipation of radical change. Over time, soil erosion and rising sea level had made an impact on the earth. As water level rises, soil begins to erode and be submerged. An artificial ground is constructed to safeguard the site. A void, now found between the earth and the machine, provides a place for taking ferries.
The site is situated between the Pacific Ocean and the Channel's harbor, making it vulnerable to changing terrain features. Marine wastes are collected and transported from the platform on the sea through a chalk bridge to the waste processing units. The extended site also comprises parking, greening, and docks for small boats. Departure and arrival are organized underground, accompanied by ticketing, luggage claim, and retail on both the ground floor and the first floor. This arrangement liberates the first floor from its traditional role and reserves it as a leisure space for the public. The third floor is where the existing waste plant continues to operate in isolation from the terminal. Trucks carrying the marine waste would unload on this floor and return to the sea platform afterwards for a continuous loop.
The Oxnard waste plant has always been prepared for changes in response to the external environment. The scaffolding is a historical artifact of the original construction, but it is retained from the past and becomes the only constant across time.
Solar panels on the envelope generate energy for the operation and isolate the machines from the outside. This indifference attitude produces a strong camouflage for the isolation between technology and humans, which, in effect, are found to be interrelated with each other closely when entering the building.
The scaffolding is an interface of the waste plant and the ferry terminal, interlacing the past and the future.
The ground for the ferry terminal is made up of multiple pieces of thick slabs arranged irregularly with wheelchair-accessible ramps, making itself part of the landscape, building a relaxed atmosphere while possessing accessibility.
Massive walls of 2-story high provide a renewed tectonic appearance on the ground level as a substitute for the old scaffolding.
Part of the equipment of the plant nesting inside the thick floor slab as a tectonic feature exposed to the public on the first floor. The right side is facing the road and garden beyond. The left side is facing the harbor. The linear space is created by walls making the building a boundary in conjunction between the land and water. The space between the sea and the building is a secondary boundary. The waterfront path and water viewing deck form a special place for people to stroll and talk. The scaffolding and containers from history become artifacts for the urban, providing cultural and commercial possibility for the future. The building, as the production from the past and the incubator for the future, the combination of technology and humans, advertises for itself with its composed and restrained nature.
In response to the impact of a rising sea level, water from the channel's harbor is directed to below the ground. Enclosed walls, functioning as secondary structural columns, are constructed with outputs converted from marine waste. What's made from the waste plant is used to protect the plant from nature. Mechanical equipment sits on a giant structural slab on which scaffolding emerges through the roof, wrapping around heavy mechanics operating in the open air. The scaffolding here is versatile and adaptable. It supports the ocean platform, the bridge, and the machines, borrowing coherence to describe objects built from different eras. At the Oxnard wasteland, the crisis of water is an opportunity for architecture. It confronted its identity as merely a garbage factory. In today's climate, it is taking up the role as a public space for the future of waste, boats, and humans.